If you haven't read Godzilla vs. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2, today's video contains some spoilers. That said, today's drink is based on the Multiversal Focus gemstone. For this one, you'll need a light up ice cube, a silver tequila, blueberry syrup, and white creme de cacao, which I want to clarify is clear and not actually white. If you do get a white cream liqueur, it's not going to work out the same. If you're a fan of chocolate-covered berries and those little boozy-filled chocolate bottles, and of course tequila, then you'll definitely like this desserty little drink. In a shaker, add 1 ounce of that white creme de cacao, add in 3/4 ounce of silver tequila, and then a ½ ounce of blueberry syrup. Then give it a dry shake to mix, don't use any ice yet. In a small drinking vessel, add in that blue light up ice cube, and then fill it with crushed ice or tiny cubes. This will not only help chill and dilute the drink, but give it that rocky look as well. And all that's left to do is pour in the mixture and enjoy. Cheers! In the Godzilla vs. MMPR comics, we're introduced to the Multiversal Focus, the object that lets the characters jump between universes, allowing for this crossover. It wasn't until the second round of comics that our heroes used this object to acquire energy from some of our favorite kaiju, and thus we have the Kaiju Rangers. A year after the comics release, we have our first collectibles of them. While they are not action figures, I will take what I can get. These blind bag backpack hangers are part of Monogram's apparent quest to release every Godzilla character in keychain form. One thing that I appreciate that Monogram has been doing lately is making it so that some of these guys can actually stand up. Their first series was much more 2D, but now these guys have flatter feet and tails that they can balance on, so these can actually stand up on your shelf. Retailing between $5 and $9 depending on where you can find them, there are 12 to collect, 1 for each Ranger and Zord. Now I'm all about the Zords here, so let's check them out. First we have the Black King Caesar Kaiju Zord. This is a huge chunky one, making it easier to feel in the bag. It also stands up perfectly on 4 legs. The problem with this one is that I'm convinced the designer had not yet read the comics. In the comics, King Caesar retains his paws and ears, but in the keychain, they gave him hooves and turned his ears into horns. These are straight up horns. On one hand, these horns make it easy to tell which figure is him in the package, but on the other hand, they turned him into a bull. Why? Why did they do this? I don't understand. And what is that white spot on the upper lip? Is that supposed to be teeth and it got printed in the wrong spot? Either way, it's unfortunate. I don't want to split up the set, but I actively dislike this one. Moving on. Next up we have Rodan. Inspired by the Final Wars version, this Rodan Zord was one of the 2 exclusive figures, but this one was one of the easiest for me to find, and I'll get to that data later. You can feel the bottom curvy part of these wings easily in the package. Unfortunately, this one can't stand up at all, so you'll either have to hang it up or prop it against something. Also a little odd that it uses different shades of red than the Ranger figure, and I realize that goes for most of them, different reds, greens, pinks. This one isn't my favorite, but it's fine. It's definitely a better interpretation of Rodan than the kid robot figure, I'll give it that. Now the Baragon Zord is nice and chunky, just like the King Caesar. Unfortunately, the ears kind of blend into the body here. Took me a moment to figure out what I was looking at. On the upside, that front horn is easy to feel in the package. And I love the fact that this one can also stand on all 4s. I feel like they should have swapped the colors between this one and King Caesar, considering Baragon is usually a darker brown and King Caesar is a lighter tan, but I still like it. Maybe that's just because Baragon has been growing on me lately. Up next we have Godzilla. This is by far the biggest, and it's super obvious to tell which one this is in the package. Weighing in at 3 ounces, this guy is a beast, compared to the rest, and while he looks great from the front, I do not like that flat face. Yes, I realize that almost all the figures in the line have flat faces, but for some reason it just feels extra goofy here considering how 3D the whole rest of his body is. I'm kinda kicking myself for buying these. I mean, okay, this is a crossover 30 years in the making, and the merchandise possibilities are endless, and this is what we get. And yeah, it's still early, there's still so much they can do with it merchandise-wise, so if they ever come out with an actual figure of this guy, this keychain is gone. The pink Mothra Zord was one I had to hunt for, but I'm glad I found it. You can feel for these wings, antenna, and the little tail. Like the Rodan, she can't stand up on her own, but since she's designed to be flying, that's fine. I really like the look of this Zord. I know we have the armored Mothra from Mothra 3, and we recently got a Mecha Mothra in one of the other comic series, but this one is great too. And finally, my favorite, the blue Anguirus Zord. This guy is another one that's easy to feel in the package. Just find that spiky and surprisingly stubby tail. Able to stand on all fours, this one looks great. I like the idea of Anguirus in blue. I realized that 4 of the 6 kaiju they picked are brown, and there's no brown Zord, so he had to be something else, and blue looks good on him. And there's nothing much else to say other than I'm happy with this guy. Now let's talk distribution. Stores near me hardly ever carry these Godzilla keychains, so I usually resort to buying them online. I bought a bunch from the Hot Topic website, and ended up with a bunch of duplicates. Ironically, my local Hot Topic did end up getting in a case, but I still wasn't able to find the ones I wanted. But luckily, my GameStop came through, fresh cases at both stores, but only 1 Mothra Ranger and 1 Mothra Zord between the 2. Now the exclusive Rodan Zord had like 2 or 3 per case. Now I wouldn't say it's so much like a chase figure as it is just, let's make it secret, but you know what it is, and it's just in there with the rest of them. Now obviously 2 data points isn't enough to really mean anything, but when that's all you have to choose from, then that's 100% of it. Looking at the prices of these now, it looks like it would actually have been cheaper for me to just buy the open ones individually online. Now hopefully we can get more of these characters done in actual figure form. I mean, I'll take more blind box minifigures as long as they're actual proportionate figures. And if nothing else, we have these. If you're looking for specific ones like these Zords, I hope you can find them in stores. Or I hope you can get them for a decent price online. However you find them, good luck on your hunt. Thanks for watching, and thanks for always drinking responsibly.